Hello, my name is Shania, and today I will be talking about how drug addiction can affect the body as well as how it can drive someone also to commit suicide. So, just to start off, let me show my member ID number. It's 151-888. There you go. 151-8818. All right, and then again, like I said, I'll just go ahead and jump right into it on how addiction affects the body. So when it comes to drug addiction, just to start it off, we do live in a world where a lot of people think that taking drugs or being introduced to drugs is something common and that's and some things normal. But what we fail to understand is that a lot of people get introduced to drugs in many different ways. Some people voluntarily gets into drugs because life hits you hard, so you want to try something that will try to ease that pain or try to have you escape from the situation that you in temporarily while you're taking that drug. And also, just like on the other hand, some people get introduced to drugs, through peer pressure. And some people also get introduced to drugs through family, growing up. You may have lived in a household or surround yourself with people that have associated themselves with drugs and that have done drugs, and so you feel that it'll be normal. So that's just pretty much different ways of how people definitely get started. And when it comes to the addiction, it's sad, but with getting addicted to a drug, it really can cause some severe damages to your body, physically, mentally, and every different aspects. And when I say physically, what I mean by that is it can cause some respiratory issues. It can also cause physically for you to possibly lose eyesight, maybe lose some body parts. Even at times, it can cause you to look older than what you are, and just many different other type of effects that it can cause to the body. Like, it also can cause someone to catch seizures, also get very nauseous at times. There's times where taking drugs and being a drug addict, it can cause you to have memory loss as well. There's just different types of effects that it can cause to the body. And to tie into how can being a drug addict really, how can it get you to the point where you would want to commit suicide in a way, is my opinion on that is I feel like drug addicts, they take drugs because that brings them to their happy place. That brings them to escaping the situations that they're in at that time. And I just feel like once you start it, there's no turning back. Like, everyone wants to feel happy in life. Everyone wants to have that happy space and have that space and that mind, where you feel like you're free, and where you feel like that you're unstoppable pretty much. And so for drug addicts, that's how they feel. They just feel like when they take the drug, it really brings them to their happy space. And so for an example, bringing in law enforcement in this example here, there's some drug addicts. For an example, a drug addict get caught with drugs, and law enforcement steps in and takes that drug, takes that happy juice or that happy thing that caused them happiness in their life, and takes that away from them. Now they're without it. They don't know how to live. They don't know how to function without that. So at times, that's how I feel like it can cause someone to commit suicide, because when you take that happy thing from that person, they're just left wondering, like, what's life? what's to live anymore if that thing that made me happy in life is no longer there for me to use or for me to have? What's the reason on living? What's that purpose? And I just feel like, in my opinion, that right there can cause a drug addiction, can cause someone who's addicted to drugs commit suicide, because once you take that happiness from them, I just feel like that can really tear someone down and possibly, bring them to wanting to just remove themselves from life because they can't have that. And just to close, that was just my opinion on the different effects that a drug addiction can cause on a person, as well as how can being a drug addict also drive someone to wanting to commit suicide. Well, thanks for listening and have a good day. Bye.